नमस्कार मेरो च्यानलमा सबैजनालाई स्वागत छ। तपाईँ हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ ह्याभ भर्बको पार्ट 2 यसमा रहेको छ क्वेसन्स। युज ह्याभ प्लस अब्जेक्ट्स विथ वर्ड्स फ्रम द बक्स टु कम्प्लिट द सेन्टेन्सेस। यो बक्समा रहेको वर्डहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले यो सेन्टेन्समा राखेर कम्प्लिट गर्नुपर्छ। तपाईँहरूले यो भिडियोलाई अब पज गरेर हामीले चाहिँ के गर्नुपर्छ, यो बक्समा भएको वर्डलाई राख्नुपर्छ यो खाली ठाउँमा। र त्यसपछि तपाईँहरूले यो राखिसकेपछि त्यसको चाहिँ एन्सर हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ। त्यसपछि जस्तो यहाँनिर रहेको छ एन्सर, यसलाई चाहिँ अहिले नहेरेर पहिला त्यो गर्नुहोला, त्यसपछि मात्र यो एन्सर हेर्नुहोला। जस्तो कि वी अलवेज ह्याभ लन्च अन फ्राइडे, हामीले हरेक शुक्रबार भोजन गर्छौँ भनेर यसरी बनाइएको छ। यसरी चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले यो कम्प्लिट गर्नुपर्छ सेन्टेन्सहरू। र त्यसपछि यसको नेपाली र इङ्ग्लिस दुवैमा यहाँनिर चाहिँ लेखिएको छ, यसलाई तपाईँहरूले हेर्नुहोला। र अनि यसबाट ह्याभ भर्बको चाहिँ युज तपाईँहरूले सिक्नुहुन्छ। यसरी हामी बिस्तारै बिस्तारै यो कसरी बोल्ने भन्ने कुराहरू सिक्छौँ। त्यस्तै गरी ह्याभ फर एक्सन, आइ एम गोइङ टु ह्याभ अ स्विम। We use have in a lot of fixed expression to talk about actions, especially in an informal style. The common expressions हरु have को common expression धेरै चीजहरुमा have को प्रयोग हुन्छ, जस्तो कि I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have coffee, I have a wash, I have bath, I have rest, I have sleep. त्यसै गरी I have swim, I have walk, I have a dance, I have a ride, I have a game. यसरी चाहिँ विभिन्न कमन एक्सप्रेसन पनि हुन्छ। त्यसैले तपाईहरुले यसलाई चाहिँ रिपिट गर्नुहोला अनि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै तपाईहरुले जानुहुन्छ यो ह्याभ को युज गर्न, ह्याभ भर्बको युज गर्न, र यो एकदमै उपयोगी हुनेछ। बिस्तारै बिस्तारै मैले यो इङ्ग्लिस ल्याङ्ग्वेज लर्निङको लागि सिम्पल टु कम्प्लेक्स अगाडि बढाइरहेको छु तपाईहरुलाई। यो चाहिँ बेसिक कोर्स रहेको छ। त्यस्तै गरेर यहाँ एउटा क्वेसन छ, त्यसपछि युज ह्याभ विथ द वर्ड्स इन द बक्स। युज ह्याभ विथ द वर्ड्स इन द बक्स। फर इक्जाम्पल, आई एम गोइङ टु ह्याभ डिनर, आई एम गोइङ टु ह्याभ डिनर। यो एउटा इक्जाम्पल रहेको छ। यसरी नै तपाईहरुले यो 9 वटा सेन्टेन्सहरू बनाउनु होला यो फ्रेजेसहरू प्रयोग गरेर। विभिन्न टाइपको ह्याभ को सेन्टेन्सहरू जुन चाहिँ ह्याभ एज अ मेन भर्बको रूपमा प्रयोग भएको होस्। र यसलाई पज गर्नु होला, त्यसपछि एन्सर यहाँनिर इङ्ग्लिस र नेपाली दुईटैमा दिएको छ। यसलाई तपाईहरुले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ इङ्ग्लिस र नेपाली दुवैमा। इङ्ग्लिस र नेपाली दुवैमा दिएको छ। र यसपछि लगत्तै यही ह्याभसँग सम्बन्धित रहेको भिडियो हेर्नुहोला र मेरो च्यानललाई लाइक, सब्स्क्राइब, कमेन्ट्स गरिदिनु होला भन्ने अनुरोध गर्दछु।
We use have plus object with some words that describe actions. This is common, especially in informal English. You can use these expressions with I, you, we, they. So, let's look at some examples. Have plus object examples. 1. We always have pizza on Fridays. What do you have on Fridays? On Fridays, my friends and I like to go out, and we always have pizza. That means it's our tradition! Every Friday, we eat pizza together. 2. Students here have exams at the end of every term. Here's another example with have exams. What do students here have at the end of every term? They have exams. They take exams. So if you are a student, what do you have at the end of the term? You have exams? This is very common. When you study somewhere, there are exams at the end of every term or at the end of every semester, and you also use have with other subjects. For example, have homework, have class. 3. My car has a service every 10,000 miles. How often does your car need a service? My car has a service every 10,000 miles. It's the same with bikes and other machines. If your bike is old, it needs a repair. Or if your bike is new, it needs a service after a certain number of miles or kilometers. 4. I'm not usually ill, but I have a cold sometimes. How often are you ill? I'm not usually ill, but I have a cold sometimes. A cold is a very common illness. It's a problem with your nose and throat, and it's normally not serious. Also, you can say, I have the flu, or I have a fever. These are more serious than having a cold. 5. Do you ever have those days when you can't wake up? Do you ever have those days when you can't wake up? When was the last time you were late for something important because you couldn't wake up? Maybe this happened to me 3 weeks ago. In this sentence, I used to have to mean experience something unpleasant. And then I added those days when you can't wake up. Have 4 experiences. Another way to use have with the verb to have is to describe experiences. I've had a lot of experiences like this. Ave been in many situations where Ave met new people and Ave had a lot of strange experiences. 6. We have a meeting with the manager every Monday morning. What do you have on Monday mornings? We have a meeting with the manager every Monday morning. Here, have a meeting is a fixed expression. It's an experience that happens regularly. So, how often do you have meetings with your boss or your manager? 1 time per week? Once a week? Or twice a week? When we talk about meetings, appointments, classes, etc. And we want to talk about frequency. We use have plus noun plus adverb of frequency. 7. I have checkups at the hospital twice a year. How often do you go to the hospital? I have checkups at the hospital twice a year. Checkups are visits to the hospital for a general examination, so you don't need to be sick to go to the hospital. Sometimes you just go for checkups. We have a checkup to make sure everything is okay. 8. Children in Nepal have holidays in the summer. When do children in Nepal have holidays? Children in Nepal have holidays in the summer. In this sentence, I said that children have holidays. But this is not the normal way to talk about holidays. Normally, we say children have a holiday or they have summer holidays. Can you add a before holidays in this sentence? Yes, children in Nepal have a holiday in the summer. The word holiday is also singular. So you can say I have a holiday or I have holidays. Which one is correct? Both are correct. If you talk about one holiday, you can say, I have a holiday. And if you talk about all the holidays you have during the year, you can say, I have holidays. 9. I often have problems remembering names and faces. Have 4 problems. You can use have to talk about experiences and problems. I often have problems remembering names and faces. Remembering names and faces is a big problem for me. I'm bad at this. What about you? Do you often have problems remembering things? I know a lot of people who have problems remembering names and faces. People also have problems with technology. I have a friend who has problems with his new smartphone. He can't remember the password. He can't remember his PIN code. Now, let's look at the most common ways to use have to talk about actions. Have 4 actions. I'm going to have a swim. Now, you can talk about any kind of action. I'm going to have a swim. Let's think about what you like to do. Do you like swimming? Maybe you can say, I like to swim every weekend. Or maybe you prefer surfing. I like to surf on Saturdays. Now, change the sentences to use have. You can say, I have a swim every weekend. Or, I have a surf on Saturdays. This sounds very natural. Let's look at some other examples. Have plus object. We use have in a lot of fixed expressions to talk about actions, especially in an informal style. Common expressions. Have breakfast, lunch, coffee, etc. Have a wash, bath, etc. Have 4 meals. We use have to talk about meals. I'm going to have breakfast. I'm hungry. Are you hungry? I'm going to have breakfast now. When you ask someone what they are going to do, you can say, what are you up to? Or what are you doing? Or what are you going to do? I'm going to have breakfast. I'm hungry. I'm going to have lunch at 1 o'clock. I'm very hungry. Have 4 drinks. And also, we use have with drinks. For example, would you like to have a coffee? Would you like to have a beer? I haven't had coffee today. I haven't had water today. Have 4 problems. You can also use have to talk about problems. I've got a toothache. I've got a headache. I've got a stomachache. I haven't had a good night's sleep. Have 4 showers, baths, washes. And also, you can talk about showers, baths, washes. I need to have a shower. I'm dirty. I need to have a bath. You can also say take a shower, take a bath. But in Britain, they normally say have a shower and have a bath. Have for sleep. To have a sleep is another fixed expression. It means to sleep. You can say, I'm tired. I need to have a sleep. Or it's very hot. I'm going to have a sleep now. And also, you can say, have a rest. When you need to relax. Have for sport. When you play sports, you can say, I've got a game of tennis tomorrow. Or I've got a game of football on Saturday. You can also say, play a game of tennis. Or play a game of football. But have a game of is much more common. Have for fun. You can also use have to talk about fun. Have fun is a phrase that means enjoy yourself. For example, have fun at the party tonight. Or I'm going out with my friends. I'm going to have fun. And finally, have 4 other things. And you can also use have to talk about many other things. I'm going to have a walk. I'm going to have a read. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to have a chat with you. Do you like having chats with me? Yes, I love it. If you want to become fluent in English faster and learn English step by step, the best way is to start speaking now. If you can't find anyone to practice English with, you can use an online service. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Please subscribe my channel, like, comment, and share it if you like.